Another time when the Bochrim used the opportunity to ask questions through Rashag by the meal of the Rebbe was Pesach Tovshin Chovtes. The question was that the Alter Rebbe in Shulchan Aruch Siman Tov Ayin Beis, when he writes the reason why the Chachamim were mesaken 4 cups of wine by the Seder Pesach night, so he says because there are 4 L'Shonei Shel Geula, 4 expressions of Geula in Parshas Va'era. And the Alter Rebbe lists them, V'heitzeisi, V'go'alti, V'lokachti, V'hitzalti. But when you look in Chumash, the order is different. The Chumash, the order is V'hitzesi, V'hitzalti, V'go'alti, V'lokachti. So they told Rashag, if you could ask the Rebbe, why the Alter Rebbe changed the Seder. So the first day of Pesach by the meal, this is Tovshin Chovtes, Rashag asked this the Rebbe. He said to him that there were some Bochrim who have this question. And he told him the question. So the first thing the Alter Rebbe said, I didn't know that the Bochrim are so medayik. But then he said, I'm going to talk about it by the Farbrengen. So that night, means the second night of Pesach by the Farbrengen, the Rebbe spoke about it. And the Rebbe explained it al Pichsidis. Whole union al Pichsidis, why the Alter Rebbe had to change the Seder. Then, Shabbos Parsha Shmini, the Rebbe spoke about it again. And this time he explained it al Pinigle. Poshet al Pinigle, why the Alter Rebbe changed the Seder. And the whole Siche was based on a Chakira that the Rebbe had concerning the mitzvah of Haseba. The fact that the Chachamim said that you have to drink the 4 cups of wine leaning, that you have to eat the matzah leaning, the afekeimen leaning. So the Rebbe had a Chakira. Is the pshat that Haseba is adin in these mitzvahs? In other words, Chachamim said that these mitzvahs have to be done by Haseba. So it's a prat, a detail in these mitzvahs. Or Haseba is an inyan for itself. And they said, this inyan of Haseba you should do during these mitzvahs. And the Rebbe went on the whole arichas, what is the difference between 2 sides, etc., etc. Later on in Tovshin Lamed Gimel, this was prepared as a likut for that Shabbos for the Rebbe to be Magia, and that went into Likut Siches later on, Chelik Yud Aleph, Parshas Va'era. This whole arichas, this whole beer of the Rebbe al Penigel and the beer al Pichsidis. After the Farbrengen, when the Rebbe spoke about it on Shabbos Parsha Shmini, so a bocher who used to come sometimes to my Shir Chassidus, he didn't come always, but the Shir Chassidus I used to give in RJJ, outside in the different place, but it's for the bochrim of RJJ, he used to come sometimes. So a while later, after the Farbrengen, he comes to me and he says that he wrote to the Rebbe, saying that the brisker of Rebbe Leibel brisker also has the Chakira and talks about it by Arichas in one of his Svarim. So he said the Rebbe answered him that probably the Sefer of Rebbe Leibel brisker was printed lately. In other words, had it been printed a while ago, the Rebbe would have seen it. But Mistamat was printed lately, that's why the Rebbe didn't see it. So it seems from here that all Svarim that would come out, the Rebbe would see. But in this case, since it was probably printed lately, so the Rebbe didn't get a chance to see it. But otherwise, the Rebbe would have seen the Chakira by Rebbe Leibel brisker.